A 1, 2.
This Wednesday morning, we welcome Susan Williams to the program. She's the Executive Director of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Susan. How are you?
Good morning. Just great.
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
After, spending all year talking about it, tonight's the big event, huh?
Tonight. We've been waiting for this for a long time. We're excited to get together with everyone at Cross Creek tonight. We're looking for, probably 200-300 people there.
Wow.
Before we get started with the mixer, there's going to be the big announcement from Oil Region Alliance of the winners of the Get on the Trail contest. So lots of fun and good business to be had tonight.
Christmas will come early for a few businesses tonight.
It will.
And that's, it's great to see what they do with the money that they get. And it's not like, they just automatically get this. I mean, they have to have, a business plan, and they put a lot of work into.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work to make sure that they've got an idea that's worthy of serving the trails, because the contest does go around those businesses that are serving trail users across the region. So some of the things that have been done are very visible. One of the most recent, those who have been through Franklin probably have seen the new deck that went on to the side of Bella Cucina's this summer, and that was helped to be funded through this contest. Everyone that loves Suzy Q's ice cream, one of their extra carts came from the contest, and I think those lucky enough to spend the night at the Bernard House Bed and Breakfast in Emlenton might get to soak in a hot tub because of the contest. So some neat things that have enhanced the experience for a trail user.
And that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg on all the possibilities with how folks could, benefit, from using the trails.
That's right.
And servicing those who use the trails.
That's right. And there's a lot of work being done throughout our various organizations to try to encourage our business community to pay some attention to the trails and see how they can better connect with one another, and make sure that as trail users are coming into our region, particularly as visitors, that they have all the amenities that complement our trails.
The trail is one of those things that really ties the entire region together.
Oh, it does. I've talked to communities across the country that are still struggling to do that, to figure out how to get municipalities to work together and how to get, working with the railroads and such. And great things have been accomplished here by the organizations that have made that happen. And it's been a number of organizations working together. So it's something for our region to be proud of.
But there's still a lot to be done.
Still plenty to be done, because we'd like to see that trail connected from Erie to D.C.,
yeah.
I think. So there's still, we here in the Oil Region enjoy the most continuous section of trail along that path to Pittsburgh. But there's a few little places where we can see some improvements and some connections, and eventually get those connectors, on the other end. So very exciting.
Do you have an idea of what that percentage is? I mean, how much of it is actually done, and how much of it...
I don't, but again, in our region, most of it is done.
Yeah, a great deal in the region is finished.
Yeah, you certainly can ride the whole place. There's a few places you're going to have to climb a hill or go over a dirt road, but I think we'll see in the next few years some progress on those as well. So very exciting.
Is this something that you think regionally folks are getting an idea of how to market, this trail, or is it still sort of being developed?
It's still being developed. I definitely think great progress is made in the last few years, but there's much more to be done. And again, it's not for lack of people working on it. There are a lot of great organizations that are involved, and as a chamber, we want to know how we can best be involved without duplicating what others are doing. So I think we're just starting to feel the impact of what this can mean to the region. So
and I think there's still that stigma of trails, so that's good weather, summertime, spring, summer, fall,
like today.
Like today.
Yeah.
But really, there's so many other outdoor activities that you can take advantage of.
There are, and the trails include everything from the water trails and hiking trails and horse trails. When we talk about trails, we tend to talk about the bike trail because that brings in so many tourists to our area, or recreationists. But often they come in and they're going to do multiple activities, and pretty soon, if things go right, we'll be cross-country skiing. and we have some fabulous cross-country skiing trails in our region, and can do more to promote those. So we've had a few really good years. The cross-country skiers tell me, the trails have been beautiful. We just need a little bit of that stuff to fall from the sky to make that happen.
It may be February
Actually,
before we get
stuff
that.
to fall from the
That's
sky.
right.
Yeah.
So, the Get on the Trail contest, that
4:30 this
4:30
evening.
winners will be announced there, and that's pretty exciting. From there, what's in store for you between now and the end of the year?
Oh boy, we also, like Krista, have a kind of member open house at the Chamber. We're doing that on December 17th. We're going to start at 4 o'clock, so those that might kick out of the office a little bit early can pop right in and get some refreshments and meet up with some other Chamber members. We'll try to have our office in tip-top shape and decorated for the holidays, and we'll be catered by Hot Pepper Catering, so you're going to have some good eats. So stop by from then till 7 and wish your Chamber staff a Merry Christmas, and let us do the same to you. That's always a nice night. And last year we were really excited to have a number of our new members who chose to come to that as one of their first events. It's a little more intimate. Tonight can be overwhelming for people that aren't sure if they love networking. It's a great event this evening, and we would encourage everyone, our new members and old alike, to join in the fun tonight.
It's kind of tough. Tonight's that mix of networking, but relaxation and just having a good time.
It is.
You're working, but you're not working.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any
Right.
pressure. That's certainly one of the things that we try to explain to new members is when we talk about networking, that's a relationship built over time. So that doesn't mean that you walk in tonight and intend to leave with a new customer, a new sale. You may. It happens once in a while, but it should be the start of building a relationship where over time you can introduce to others, when you have something that you want to teach them about or something you want to learn from them. You should have your business cards, because it's just the best way to follow up with someone if you can hand off your business card. But this really should be a night of fun.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. What people need to take away is, maybe 3 months from now when something happens and they need to buy something or they need that service, they can go, I talked to this guy a couple months ago, and I have this card. Let me call him up, or let me call her up.
That's right. And especially when this mixer is across so many communities, it may not even be the specific service or product you're looking for. It might be that you're looking to do business across the region, and you're just looking for someone that might have already built a relationship that they want to call for a referral, or they're looking for something. You're traveling between communities because honestly, a lot of people do work mostly within their own community. So if someone from Oil City is looking for something in Meadville, it may be someone that they've met at this mixer tonight that they can call and say, hey, listen, I'm going to be doing some business in your region. Can you help me? With
what I've seen, and it sounds odd, but maybe it's not, where even people who you would think would be competitors actually develop a strong relationship. And they have a discussion. They go, you know what? We do carry the same thing. Maybe if we work together, we could get a better rate if we buy in bulk, or if we do something else. So they realize that while they have the same service or product, they're still far enough apart that it's not such a tense.
Sure. And often there's great value in people within the same industry helping educate the customer. And that's something that can be done even with competitors working together to make sure that, that their customers understand the product or services they offer. I think there's great advantage to that. So tonight's a great chance to maybe think about that. Think about how you can approach someone else and see if you can begin to build that relationship. And again, have some fun. Really
and
enjoy
renew
it.
some old friendships too.
Yeah, you're bound to see someone you haven't seen in a while. So
Or maybe since last year.
Yes, maybe since last year.
Very likely. And if you're nervous about coming tonight, make sure you get a hold of Krista or myself or one of our staff. We'd be happy to help introduce you around and make sure that you meet somebody new. That's always a real joy to go away knowing that we helped facilitate a new friendship.
Between now and the end of the year, Krista was talking about some house cleaning type of things that she's going to be doing. What are you guys doing to prepare for the next year? And is there enough time to do that?
Sure. Well, never enough time, but sure. Like her, we have a budget that is will go to final approval at next week's board meeting. So that's always exciting to know where we're going to spend our money. We like to think that we're preparing a budget with prioritizing what's important to us, making sure that our money follows our mission to serve our members. We are looking at everything we've done in the last year and saying, how do we make changes or not? We're also reserving dates and places for things to go on. We always look at all of our communication streams, our newsletter, saying, we love our newsletter, but is there anything we can do to just make it a little bit more valuable, a little more efficient? So we're going through all of that process right now, and I think we have a lot to be excited about in 2016.
They have the, the barbershop quartet that they'll go around on Valentine's Day and sing for folks. Maybe you could do that with the newsletters. Have every month somebody shows up and just sings it to you.
A singing
There you
newsletter.
go.
A singing
There you go.
newsletter.
That would be interesting.
That'd
Maybe
be-
Krista will sing. It sounds like
We've
got a plan.
been working on that
Yeah.
for like 5 years.
I can't
Has it
wait.
been that long?
It's been a long time. Yeah.
Christmas carols.
Yeah. And of course, you always talk about getting input from your board members on stuff like that. So here's the newsletter. Any ideas to tweak it in the new year?
Yeah, and we've actually been working all year on some strategic planning where we've really been taking a close look at the things that we do and saying, are there things that we could do to make changes that would make things better? Some of those just because we're interested in always improving our processes and our products, and I think you'll gradually see some changes implemented, but also some out of necessity. I know you asked Krista what she's excited about in 2016 in terms of events, and one that I'm nervous but excited about is our Oil Heritage Festival. We're going to have some challenges with some street closings that are going to demand
That's right.
big changes. So we're in the process right now of trying to figure out what's going to serve our community best, and that's very unnerving. But it's also exciting because change is good, and sometimes it takes a little change to see where your weaknesses are and where your strengths are.
We're here with Susan Williams. She's the executive director of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. This is the Morning Drill on Stream Television and the Allegheny News Talk Sports Network. So you have to deal with folks who say, well, it's always been this way. We've always done it this way. I'm half one of those.
Yeah, it's the same way. I'm about halfway there too.
Is this an opportunity to look at and say, boy, we have a great festival, but maybe this year we could change some other things and just see what happens?
Yeah, well, one of the nice things this year is it's not even so much a choice as we must.
Well, right.
Because so it gives us an opportunity maybe to try some things we wouldn't have been bold enough to try before and see if they work. And if they don't, we can consider just going back to the way things were in the past. If it works well, we can transition into some new schedules of how and when things happen. So, we'll be sharing more about those hopefully sooner than later.
No, there's the old saw, if you don't do it, if you don't try it, you'll never know.
Yeah. And we have some ideas that we've been floating out to our young professionals. We're always looking for ways to better engage our young people in our community events. Because sometimes when we get stuck with those old things, they think those are a little lame, and they maybe even leave the community during our bigger events. And so we're trying to figure out how to get them engaged. And I think we've introduced some ideas that they're pretty excited about. So we'll see if they come through for us.
Well, it sounds.
will.
I know you like challenges, so I know when you say that there's some headaches that you might go through, but I think you enjoy the challenge. I think you enjoy saying, "Okay, let's tackle this and
let's
make
try
it
some
happen."
new things.
Yeah.
That's right. I think all of We Chambers would agree that one of the things we look forward to each year is meeting new members, serving our existing members better, but knowing that there will be new businesses created. We know that. We know time tells us that there will be some wonderful surprises that happen as people with an entrepreneurial spirit decide to open a business. We'd love to be there to help them in the beginning thought stages and when they're ready to open their doors. So that's exciting for me to just.
That was in the
wonder.
Bible, wasn't it? An old business will pass, and a new business. Oh wait, never mind.
Probably.
Yeah.
There somewhere. But that's really, I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about is just knowing that will happen, and believing that I'll be there to be a part of that and to celebrate with new businesses when they open.
So you go through the year, and there's a lot of events that you do every year, the stapled events that you have. But I know you don't like to just, stamp those things out. What's the process in revisiting those events? Do you look for something to tweak? Do you say, hey, let's change this up a little bit? Because I know for you, and probably, Krista and others, every day is a new challenge for you, and you look forward to that. So how do you go and look at 2016 and say, okay, let's change a little bit here. Let's make it a little different so it's not the same old thing?
Well, it's never easy. We certainly, look at the very first thing you do is look at how people responded to what you did. We made a big change a few years ago with our golf outing. We moved the location, changed a little bit about the format, and again, that was very nerve-wracking. Kind of, we've always done it this way. But
although, in fairness, people were confused why the golf outing was on a basketball court.
There you go. Yeah. But we made a positive change, and we got, we listened to what the golfers told us. And we looked at the bottom line of, most events you're looking to make some profit. And so that was, it was a good event. So at that, you look at that evaluation of the event and say, okay, we're on the right track. And you're always looking for things to make your events more fun. I know we look a lot at what Krista does because her chamber always has fun. So look for ideas. We do a lot of sharing between local chambers and even, now with social media, we can hear from chambers across the country.
Well, and as we talk about throughout the year, you guys network with other chambers.
Oh, we do.
And you guys were just at that conference, so you were able to get some ideas.
Yeah, so we're always looking for ideas about what is working well elsewhere, and if we can implement some of those changes, again, to make our events more fun, to make them more profitable, to make them more meaningful. I think we're all challenged by how can we make sure that at the end of the day, businesses feel that their experience in doing business is better in our region because of what we're doing through our events. Not every business really embraces the idea that chamber of events are an opportunity for them, but many do. So I'm sure that the other chamber directors like me lay awake at night sometimes thinking, boy, what how are we not reaching some members, and how can we bring them in? And if it's not through events, where is it?
But those events are really catalysts at person-to-person contact, though. That's such an important thing.
Yeah, and I think, again, for that member who may think, well, I really don't care to do that, I don't see value. I just was reading a study the other day about organizations like ours, membership-based organizations, and by far the top motivation for businesses to join our type of organization is for networking. So now that might be the kind of networking we're going to do tonight, where we have a ton of people in a confined space with a little bit of alcohol and food, and
that always helps
to get to know each other.
And listen, that's how most families make it through the holidays to begin with. So
yeah, so it may be in that environment, but it may be in a much smaller environment.
Right.
I am always thinking about how can I facilitate more of that networking just simply around my board table. We have become such diverse communities that often our board members only see each other when they come together that once a month.
But with your members, that's a two-way street. It's not a roundabout where you're going in circles. It should be a two-way street. So
it should be.
I know you guys reach out to your members, but there should be it should be known that members can also reach out to you and take advantage of that membership they're paying for.
They can, and they should be specific. I mean, I have been lucky enough to have a few members over the years who will call me or come to me and say, listen, I'm not comfortable doing this. I need your help. So it might mean starting very small, where they just tell me, there's a few people I'd like to meet. Can you help me with that? Make introductions, and I'm always happy to do that. Or it may mean helping them around an event like this evening, which we can do. So we're really very, very willing to meet each member where they are, to their comfort level, and help them do that. But if we don't know where their challenges are or where their needs are, it can be hard to do that.
Yeah, that talking, that face-to-face is so important.
Mm-hmm. And we're lucky enough now to have social media and really good ways that face-to-face is ideal, I think, particularly for our type of organizations. But, really, if you're more comfortable sitting behind your computer and throwing me off a message at 10 o'clock at night about what you need to improve your business, we're willing to answer. So I think there are a lot of different ways people go about things, and we're willing to respond however businesses need.
That's right. And not thinking, oh my gosh, they're probably sitting in their parents' basement eating Cheetos.
Well, that's the second time I've heard that in 24 hours.
Is it? Sorry.
Who all has these kids sitting in their basements eating Cheetos?
They exist, Susan.
Apparently,
they exist.
Apparently, there's a lot of them. Yeah. I can tell you if there were Cheetos in my house, they'd be upstairs. My favorite.
Mom, leave me alone. I'm talking to Susan.
There you go.
So, Susan, as we approach the holidays, Mark used to ask this question. I don't know why he doesn't anymore, but if you had a magic wand, or you could get 3 wishes to make anything happen in the new year, what are the 3 things you'd like to have?
Wow. We have to reflect that over this year we've lost some very valuable members of our community, or the loved ones of. To eliminate the pain and suffering of illness and death. That's a big wish, but to at least make that transition as peaceful as possible for those who are going to go through that in the next year. I certainly would love to see our community thrive in a business sense, where when business is open, that we've given them the best opportunity to be just as successful as can be. And the third, lots of snow in 2016, because I'm ready to go skiing. I just had to be a little bit selfish.
I'm with you. We drove past the peak the other day, Saturday, and somebody in the vehicle said, "Are they making snow yet?"
It looks like about the only way it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. But no, we of course all want peace and joy and happiness for all, and we know that's not possible to the extent we'd like, but that we can all be kind to each other and understanding of each other's experiences. I think we can make each other's lives easier, more fun, and business a place that's good to be in. Let's think positive in 2016.
Right. Susan, great to see you this morning. How can folks get a hold of you if they have any questions or need more information?
Call our office at 814-676-8521. Find us online at venangochamber.org. And, of course, we're located on Route 8 at 41 on Main Street in Oil City.
Yeah, check out the window display.
Yeah, Dottie did a beautiful job with just updating our Christmas display.
Excellent. Great to see you. We'll see you next week.
See you tonight.
Tonight?
Oh, okay.
Next
week, yeah.
All right.
Good.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Final look at news coming up next. Oh, and we'll also learn about a Charlie Brown Christmas and the Pittsburgh Symphony Brass performing this weekend. So a lot going on. All right, Christmas past in Oil City, too. Yeah.
It's up on Thursday, and there's a lot going on. So jump on oilcitymainstreet.org. I'll ask Kathy to make sure that tonight at the Mixer there are some brochures so you can see everything that's going on.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.